Everyone, you guys say hi too, please.
Hey, what's up,
All
everybody?
right, love it. You guys are here, love it. I hope that everyone is doing well. Just having technical difficulties once again, so that's why we're late. More specifically, that's why I was late. So, my apologies, everyone.
Yeah, come on, Jake.
Jake, I think you need to get like a little basketball or something, and every time you have like a good take, or maybe that's how you sign off. Just try.
Just every week, just go, hey guys, take care, be good, and then flip it over my head and see if I can make it one of these times.
Try and make it. Yeah,
that would be great.
That would be awesome.
I think I vote for that.
Yeah, you vote for that?
Yep.
All right, I have our game ready. I have our chat ready. Chat, how we doing? Hey. Joey, John, good to see you guys here.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I hope Jake's ready because I got roasted hard last episode naturally because it was the Broncos. And you guys both gave me crap about the lemonades out of lemons comment. And guess what, folks? That's a common dang expression. So I hope you're ready for both of you to get just destroyed.
It is a common expression. The way you phrased it
was
just
weird.
made it.
It was fine.
Weird.
It was fine. I'll ask an expert.
It was when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. That's this expression. And you kind of, I can't remember exactly what it is.
You said when life gives you lemons, you have lemons. Or something
yeah,
like
that. It was very bizarre. You were close.
Hold on, Adam. Do you want to talk about this on the podcast? So just hold on.
Yes, because both of you are wrong, and I would love for Jake to make a mistake.
All right. First of all, welcome, everybody. It's good to see you guys. We're really going to have to, by the way, just something to talk about while we're currently live. We're going to have to figure out this section that we're currently doing, I think needs to be a little bit more formatted. Because this goes up on the YouTube video, and everyone's just kind of like, what are these three buffoons talking about? Just something to throw. The chat, John's here. He's going to be the first guy tonight. Good. Joey says, good, need someone to take the reins from me for a bit. Joey says, yuck. The AFC South, the least fantasy-relevant division in the NFL. We'll see.
Just you wait. Just you wait.
Just you wait. My child is awake. All right. Why don't we go ahead and jump into this, boys? You guys ready?
Yep.
So ready.
We're so ready. God, we're so ready. God, I'm just so ready.
Okay.
Also, did you guys see? Adam has the crappy camera today, not me. And
that's crystal clear.
Adam, yours isn't crappy. It's just, you got the light behind you, so it always messes with the... Yeah, make sure... Can you put your head right in the middle? That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's perfect.
All right. So we're going to be breaking down the AFC South today. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we just jump into it? Sorry, I lost everything. Like the whole screen went black for a second. But we're good. Everyone's here. So
we're back.
We're back.
All right.
It's just totally terrifying, but it's fine. All right. Jesus. All right. Why don't we go ahead? Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, Jordan, and we can do this. Welcome back to the... Oh, no. Jordan, stop it. Why'd you give me the thumbs up? Thumbs up is when it's time to go.
A disaster. A disaster.
Serves you right.
Okay. All right. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Both Adam and I have clicked. Okay. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, I'll give a real thumbs up now.
Like when it's recording. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, can you delete the other stuff? Oh, gosh. We lost everyone. Guys, I'm still here. Sorry. I don't know what happened. But I'm here. Oh, jeez, man. What are you doing?
Did that mess up YouTube?
It messed up. Oh, no, I was still here. They could all hear me.
Okay.
Jeez Louise, guys. I am so sorry. Wowza.
Not a good start.
Are you ready now?
Not a good start.
Are you ready now? Oh my gosh. Wow. If anyone's new, because I posted this in a few different places, sorry.
Yeah, this is not typical.
This is wow.
No, I'd say this is kind of typical.
We are live. If anyone is new in here, we are live on YouTube. So jump on in there. You can talk. I'd love to hear you guys. All right, Jordan,
Jake.
when it is recording, I want you to give me the thumbs up. God bless America. Welcome back to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. My name is Jake, and we are a mess today. Anyone listening wherever you listen to your podcast, you wouldn't know it, but we're a mess, and that is because my friend Jordan has no idea what he's doing. Apparently, we've been doing this for a year. But Jordan, how you doing?
Good. It wasn't a strong start for me today. Not a strong start, but we're bouncing back. We get the AFC South today, so
we bounce back.
Yeah.
And hey, Jordan, I gotta tell you something. Our boy Adam, it's football season. It's starting. But he's still here. He's still here for the pod. Adam, how you doing?
Good, man. Planning is in full swing. We got the calendar ready a few days ago.
90 days away, right?
We are 91 days, 90 now, from kickoff when we beat Sparta at Tiger Stadium. So I'm excited. Not that I'm counting down or anything, but, we're planning. We're getting the off-season program ready. I'm excited. Tigers softball won a playoff game tonight. Tiger Pride coming out, so I'm excited. Quick side note, my cousin John wanted me to mention this because he's on the YouTube channel. We have a bet, and if you listened last week, I made a bold claim that Russ Wilson would have 35 touchdowns, 30 passing, 5 rushing. And if I lose a bet with my cousin John, I have to wear a shirt on the podcast every episode till he's satisfied that says Raiders' biggest fan. And if I win, he's got to wear a shirt that says Russ did cook. So I thought that'd be kind of fun, and I hope to God Russ cooks because I will spontaneously combust if I've got to wear a Raiders fan shirt.
I can't wait for the Raiders shirt. Can't wait.
Is it a shirt or a jersey?
It's a shirt that will boldly say right on the front, Raiders' biggest fan.
Oh, wow. All right. Love that. Well, glad you're here, Adam.
Thank you.
Why don't we start with our game? So we've been kind of keeping this theme of all-time leaders, right, in different stats. And I think this is gonna be the last one before. I think next week, guys, we're gonna host our own little mini draft of something fun. I think just kind of mix it up if that's all right with you guys.
Love it. Yep.
But this one, again, super simple. We're talking all-time leaders in rushing touchdowns.
Oh, no.
Rushing touchdowns. Now, I'm looking at the list, and we got some names on here. I'm going to go the over-under 6.5.
Oh.
Okay,
So
you got to get 7.
You got to get 7 of the 10, and this is... this is going to test some history. I think the hard part, and my hint to you guys, the hard part here is you're going to have a lot of names. Which ones are in the top 10, though?
Right.
All right.
So, I mean, it's
I'm
going
excited.
to be tough.
Yeah,
It's going to be tough. We're going to get 3 minutes on the clock. If you're in the chat on YouTube, make sure you are throwing your guesses in there. Friends, for our friends listening later on, it is Thursday. It's 7:30. Get in the YouTube channel. It's fun. The stream is fun. So, are you boys ready?
Yeah, 7:30 Central, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
8:30 Eastern. Yeah.
What is that? 10:30 Pacific? 9:30 Pacific?
No, it's earlier Pacific.
I don't.
It's 5:30 Pacific.
Oh my God, guys, we are really struggling. Like this is.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
All right.
Adam's been fine.
Jeez.
All right. Hey,
are you guys ready?
We lost. Yeah, we lost.
Yeah, you
week,
lost
so.
last week, and it was a bad performance, if I do recall.
Yes, It wasn't that great.
So we got to get 7 of these guys.
Seven of these guys, and are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Away, we. Sorry, my phone went weird. Away. Nope, still don't have it. All right, away we go.
LaDainian Tomlinson, lock it in.
That is correct. He is number 2.
Emmitt Smith, lock it in.
He is number 1 with 19 more touchdowns.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay. Adrian Peterson. Lock
Lock
it
it
in.
in.
He is number 4 with 120.
How do you feel about Herschel Walker?
Sure. I don't know. I don't know how many touchdowns he has.
See, that's the tough part, right?
I know, because he's a big name. Do we want to go that far back yet? I love me some history, but come on now.
Barry Sanders.
Lock it in.
He is number 10 at 99.
We're at 4.
You're at 4.
Okay.
You guys are doing good.
Need 3 more.
What about Jim Brown? That's going way back, but he was a stud.
I like Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, lock it in.
He is number 6 with 106.
Let's go.
You guys are killing. You only 2 more.
Herschel Walker, lock it in.
I'm sorry. What?
Herschel Walker, lock it in.
That is incorrect. That is 1x. He is not even in the top 20.
Wow.
What about Frank Gore?
I do want to tell you guys you have 2 minutes. You only need 2 more. So
Okay.
take your time here.
What about Frank Gore? You remember we did this with Frank Gore, and he ended up being like the second most or something in rush yards, maybe?
Yeah.
It's
He
got to
played a
be.
long
Just
time.
volume, right?
He played
Frank
a
Gore.
long time. Frank Gore, lock it in.
He is incorrect. He is at 19. He only had 81 tutties.
Wow.
Now we
What
got
about like... Yeah, okay, so let's think.
You got
about this.
time.
What about guys like Walter Payton,
Curtis
about-
Martin?
Curtis Martin, Priest Holmes, Sean Alexander, Marshall Falk, like some of those early 2000s guys?
Walter Payton seems like a lock to me, though.
All right, let's do it. Walter Payton, lock it in.
Lock it in. He's number 5 at 110.
Come on, Adam.
So you guys are missing number 3, 7, 9, 8.
So we just need one more.
We need one more.
We need one
All
more.
right. I'm between. So you said Curtis Martin. That's
Yep.
a good one. I like Sean Alexander. I like Marshall Falk. I like Priest Holmes. What about guys like Eric Dickerson? I'm just thinking it's like big name.
Yeah. The thing with Sean Alexander, he had those like 3 years where he was a god,
Yeah.
and then he fell off a map.
He got the Madden cover and was like, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yep. Went to the Redskins, it was awful. How much time we got?
You have 25 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Curtis Martin, lock it in.
He is not on the list. He is number
Marshall Falk. What if
He
is
is
it Marshall
number
Falk?
14. You guys have lost. That is.
Is it Marshall Falk?
It is
Come on.
Marshall Falk at number 8. Tied with Sean Alexander.
No!
Oh man, and you guys were missing the big ones, which I think you will kick yourselves. Number 3 with 123 was Marcus Allen,
Oh,
and you guys were close. John says they're gonna blow it.
started so hot.
The chat's like they said 2 of them.
Curtis Martin.
You're gonna Falk this one. That's funny. And then number 7 was a guy who gets no respect in the game, which is John Riggins
oh
at
yeah.
104
All right.
for the football team. Just coming out. So 99, Barry Sanders at 10. Everyone else had over 100. And then after that, you got a bunch of guys with 91, 90, which include Franco Harris, Jerome Bettis, Eric Dickerson, Curtis Martin. And then Priest Holmes, Marshawn Lynch, Jim Taylor, Corey Dillon, Frank Gore, Otis Anderson were the top 20.
So no Adrian James on that list.
No, at least not.
Wow.
Yeah, not on the top 20.
It's crazy to think how many Hall of Famers are on the top 20 or not even in the top 20, and they were Hall of Famers and they didn't have a top 20 touchdown career.
What's nuts is that Frank Gore's the weird one to me, right? He had 81
he was like-
touchdowns, and he had exactly 16,000 rushing yards.
Yep. I thought Curtis Martin was a lock, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, he was what, top 15?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's close.
you know what's another one that's interesting? Tony Dorsett is top 10 in rushing yards, but not anywhere near this top 10 or top.
Huh.
But I mean, if you think about it, like, is the mid 2000s, you got Priest Holmes, you got LT, you got Adrian Peterson, you got Sean Alexander. Those are those years where Frank Gore, I guess a little. Those are those years where people were putting up 20 plus rushing touchdowns. Those were the fantasy days, man.
Yep.
Like you got carried. So no Terrell Davis as well. That's a name that was in there. But he only had
he got cut short because of injury though.
Yes,
if he would have played a little longer, he would have been on the list.
Yeah, someone said he really only had two to three great years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. So that's a losing streak. I think next week, here's a fun one. I know I said we're going to do the draft, but I'm going to do one more. And we have passing completions. Who has had the most completed passes?
You're giving me a whole week not to cheat, Jake?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm that strong. I don't know if I'm strong enough not to look that up. Excuse me, to study, not cheat. To study.
I'm going to look it up tomorrow. So.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, guys. Why don't we move on? Let's hit the AFC South, right? A few people were saying, "Oh, there's only a few relevant players." False is what I say to that. There's a bunch of them, and we're gonna get into.
There's at least 5.
Also, I would like to just publicly shame one of you. We just finished our Dynasty League draft. It took a month, right?
Yep.
Right, and there were only 2. It was 27 rounds, and there were only 2 auto picks the entire time.
Oh no!
And each
Adam.
of you were result in one of them, and you guys suck. That's it. Like, I get that.
Hey, to be fair, the one auto pick, I think you texted me, and I was about to start a lesson. In school.
You have 8 hours.
I forgot.
Yeah, here's even better for me. I did it there's 27 rounds. Mine was round 27 that I let it auto pick. And even better, Adam, it drafted my man Allen Robinson, who I swore I would never draft again.
I can't believe
it. You can't cut him. It's against the rules now. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So there you go. Public shaming. So this is a fun division. I guess I didn't really realize. I mean, if I would have thought about it, I would have known. But I didn't realize 3 of the rookie quarterbacks went to this division.
Yeah, it just shows you how bad this division is.
Yeah.
Or was last year, I should say.
Yeah, which is kind of nuts to me. Like, you don't typically see that, right? So they're really resetting. This is going to be a young quarterback division. All of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence is the veteran, right? Kind of weird. not typical. Yeah. Why don't we just go in order? Sorry, and just to go back here a second, Joey says in the chat, "Tell me about it." And I even voted for a pause so that Adam could get his pick in, and he still got auto-picked. Yes. Anyways, if you want to do a draft with us, we're going to be dropping drafts in the on the Facebook page, so make sure you get in there. Let's go ahead. We'll just go in the order that we have it here, guys. Can someone remind me the positions we were doing?
Adam had quarterbacks, I had running backs. You had wide receivers, and then Adam and I switched off. I'll do the first 2, and Adam, and you can do the second 2 tight ends.
Good, because I want to see Adam try to pronounce the Titans tight end. So, he just giggles. He just like, all right. Why don't we start in this draft, or in this division, with the Houston Texans, who I think their arrow pointing up.
Yes.
Because what I believe is they got the best quarterback in this draft, in my opinion. So, I don't know if you guys agree. Go ahead.
Check the tape, Jake. I think Adam and I were the ones who were hyping up CJ Stroud, and you were like, no. It's Bryce Young. No. It's Bryce Young. And I was like, no, he's undersized. And you were like, no. It doesn't matter.
Stop doing that. I don't like how you're doing that. Come on. I have come around to the landing spot. I really like the landing spot here. But Adam, why don't you talk about CJ Stroud or Davis Mills? You pick.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I truly think Davis Mills is going to start a few games at the beginning of the year. I don't think they're going to throw Stroud right in. I don't know if anything's come out with that yet. I truly haven't heard anything about it. Again, maybe they're at the point, though, like we were really bad with Davis Mills. How much worse could it be starting a rookie day one? Mills is not flashy, but don't be surprised if he's the week 1 starter. Now, how does this impact fantasy, right? Uh, Stroud, uber talented, best QB in the draft. He is going to get great value when he's eventually a starter. The real question is, when is that, though? Most drafts are going to happen before the league starts or before the NFL kicks off. And I just don't see value compared to other guys involved in the league. He's a rookie. You don't know how it's going to go. Both ADPs for Mills and Stroud are undrafted. Mills just did meh. He's a backup quarterback in the league last year. I personally, if I'm in a traditional league, I would take a chance on Stroud super late. But if you got better guys and better options, why waste it on Stroud? And Mills, I wouldn't touch him. Don't avoid him like the plague, baby. Just avoid him.
Yeah, definitely a no-go on Davis Mills, for sure. I mean, he started last year.
He's shown that he can be a backup like he's a decent backup quarterback in this league, you know?
Not in fantasy football.
No, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
But I like what you said, Adam. I think that CJ Stroud, like, if you're in a dynasty, love me some CJ Stroud.
Yep.
If you're, like, just in a redraft, and, like, I'm assuming 1 QB redraft league, like, you would pick him up as your 3rd quarterback just to see what happens. He'd sit on your bench, see if there's anything to happen. We'll get to receivers later, and that's why I don't have a lot of faith in anyone that's throwing the ball in Houston.
Someone just pointed out. Someone just pointed it out in the chat, and I think we forgot about this. Case Keenum is also in that quarterback room.
Yes.
I think a better question, because I think we all agree that Stroud won't start week 1. I mean, it wouldn't shock me, right, if they're just going to go for it. But, I mean, Houston's going to be bad this year, so why throw him to the Wolves, you know? I think a better question is, if CJ Stroud doesn't start, which one of those guys is starting? And I wouldn't be shocked if you get a Case Keenum start or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a pure backup, right? I'd rather have Case Keenum. You want the veteran?
He's just a vet. Yeah, he's just a veteran.
So I mean, I'd rather have.
Present.
So give me Case Keenum to start a week or 2, but it's really not the quarterback situation you'd want, right? And we'll talk at the end of this quickly about which one of these quarterbacks you think is going to do. Which one of these quarterbacks do you think is more going to be more relevant in redraft and in dynasty quickly? I think we should mention that just because they're all here, right? But why don't you go ahead and talk about Pierce?
Yeah, so let's talk running backs in Houston. So last year, some of us were on the Marlon Mack train because he was the guy.
What a terrible take.
Yeah, but at the time, he was the only guy there.
And
then they drafted Dameon Pierce. Okay, hey, listen. Dameon Pierce had an awesome season, right? He had a very good season. He played 13 games. He rushed for almost 1,000 yards. He finished as running back 29. I think part of that, 13 games, running back 29 is pretty good. That's a pretty good year.
I mean, you missed 4
pick
weeks,
up an extra. Yeah, pick up an extra couple touchdowns in that, and you're, right into the high-end RB3 conversation. And so that's what I really liked about Dameon Pierce. Right now, he's getting his ADP is the 4th round, so he's going as running back 13. So it's a very dramatic difference from where he finished. Yep, early 4th. The thing that's the wrinkle in all of this is that they brought in Devin Singletary from Buffalo, who finished last year as running back 25. He played 16 games and had very similar stats: 800 yards instead of 900, 5 touchdowns instead of 4 touchdowns. And they had similar receiving totals. So I'm going to be interested to see what that backfield ends up looking like. I was really excited for Dameon Pierce. I was like, oh, he's the guy. They're going to ride him. It's just not. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that way with Devin Singletary. So an interesting backfield. I still think the one that you want is Dameon Pierce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you feel comfortable with an early 4th taking him as your running back 2?
No, I
makes me a little nervous.
Yeah,
I agree.
Especially with the running back by committee. You got a head coach there now who's used to a team when he was the D coordinator for the Niners that they use multiple running backs. I just don't feel comfortable either. I'd be nervous too.
Jordan, could you link the ADP thing in the chat with us that you're using?
Yep.
Okay. Because I want to know who's going around him, Like, he's running back 13. Who's running back 12, 13, 14?
Give me one moment.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. Because I think Singletary being there is a nerve-wracking thing, right? Go ahead.
Other guys that are going around him, so the other running backs around him,
yeah.
J.K. Dobbins, Aaron Jones are just before him, Miles Sanders, Bijan Robinson, Joe Mixon just after him.
So,
other guys being taken in that range, Debo, DK, Jalen Hurts, T.J. Hawkinson, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I would almost rather have all of those people. And
minus Joe Mixon.
Well, yeah. Bijan's going to be a first-round pick this year, in my opinion. So
I think he'll skyrocket.
Yeah, so and that's just another reminder here, because it is May 18th. The ADPs are figuring themselves out. So if we would have checked last week, who knows where Bijan was there. But as more drafts happen, he's going to be being pushed up. So he will be a first or a second round pick. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. You'd rather have Aaron Jones, right? J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones, I think, is an interesting comp here because it's a similar situation, right?
Yeah.
I think Aaron Jones kind of being the primary, like Dameon Pierce is, but there is someone who is there and who is competing for touches, like A.J. Dillon is, and now Devin Singletary is. I still think the one you want is Dameon Pierce, but I would rather have Aaron Jones between the two. But
for me, it's just how the drafts are looking currently. With him going 4-8 or a late fourth round pick, I'd rather have Miles Sanders a few picks like on the turnaround, right? Or take a receiver like Terry McLaurin, because you could wait 2 rounds and get a guy like Pacheco or DeAndre Swift or James Conner, right? And I feel I'd rather have Pierce more than James Conner, but I think the value's a little better there.
Hey Jake, who would you rather have, Miles Sanders or Pierce?
Miles Sanders.
Ooh, all right.
I have to sit on this I hate Miles Sanders train, but I have to say, like, for him, and we'll talk about it when we get to the NFC South, it's a great landing spot for him, right? But we don't need to get too much into him right now. I'm sure that when the NFC South comes, it's going to be just a bloodbath for me. So why don't we move on? Receivers. So this is a really bad receiving room. They got Robert Woods coming over from Tennessee. They have John Mechie. He went to college? I can't think off the top of my head. It wasn't Alabama, was it? Clemson.
I thought it was.
Was it Alabama? Late, and then they got Nico Collins as well. So they have 2 younger guys, and they have the older guy. None of them are currently drafted. I don't believe that'll be the case, because even like Robert Woods or Nico Collins or John Mechie, they all deserve some sort of flyer, because any one of them could be running or receiver 1 on this team. And while that's not a very good team, wide receiver 1 holds value no matter what. So I guess John Mechie is returning from a year off because he had cancer last year. And he looks like he will be able to go. Who is the one to own? I honestly for me, I'd lean Mechie because of the upside.
Agreed. Yep. I know what Robert Woods is.
Uh-huh.
And he is wide receiver 73. And that is what he is to me. I think that Mechie is the one who is most exciting.
Yeah.
Or could be most exciting.
I don't think I don't think Nico Collins is anything. I really don't. I know the hype from a year or 2 ago, but I just don't think it's there. If there's any one, so I don't want to talk too long about it, but if there's one person who's catching balls that I want to own in Houston, Jordan, it is Dalton Schultz.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. And that leads me nicely into the tight end category here. So came over from Dallas. Last year in Dallas, he finished as tight end 11. So close to a top 10 or close to being a tight end 1. He had 57 receptions, almost 600 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think that he is the best pass catcher or might be the most reliable pass catcher in Houston based on that. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't hate his current. He's going as tight end 10 right now. I think that's probably where he'll end up. Like in most drafts, is kind of around that. And he's one of those tight ends. Yeah, he's one of those tight ends. Kind of our philosophy is to sit back and hold tight and wait on tight ends until later in the draft, and he's one of those that I would take.
Oh, I think that if you're waiting, that is the goal. For me, that is the goal. If you can wait till round 11 to get probably the number one pass catcher on a team, that's beautiful. That's what you want, right? And then you just hope that whoever's throwing the ball is able to get enough targets or receptions, I should say, because I don't think targets is going to be an issue for him.
Yeah.
This team reminds me of the Chiefs when Alex Smith threw no touchdowns to a receiver.
Yes,
if there's any
that is
team
perfect.
in the league that this could happen, it would be the Texans this year. So
yeah,
that's
throwing it just to running backs and tight ends.
Yep. And if that's true, you could get a good value from Devin Singletary as well. So pretty much everyone on this team, other than Damian Pearson, I'll say Damian Pierce, could be taken in double-digit rounds. Right?
Totally.
Sure.
So the receivers, you could probably wait to the last few rounds before you take your kicker or defense. Dalton Schultz in the 11th, sure, and then your rookie quarterback if you want to take a flyer late. Most of these rookie quarterbacks will probably be taken because people like to take them and the hype and who knows, right? Which I guess is a good transition to the Indianapolis Colts because I think Anthony Richardson is the one rookie receiver that I think will be taken higher or first out of all of them. Or quarterback, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And again, I think I said on a former podcast, like out of the rookie quarterbacks that I like just as much as Stroud, maybe could be way better. Anthony Richardson's the guy. I mean, he wows on tape in college. Had a good pro day. Obviously, did enough to get drafted number 3 overall. The one wild card here, we got back-to-back teams with 2 guys listed here on this little chart that Jordan made. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan makes a great chart. I feel like I want to just share this chart so that people can see it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But Gardner Minshew's listed there. He was QB 48 last year, folks. Wow. I love me some Minshew mania. Again, it's a unique situation, kind of like the Texans, where he could start at the start of the year, could be effective. He's never going to win you a championship. He's never going to win you multiple playoff games.
Sorry, I have thoughts.
Gardner Minshew?
I just think, I like him. I hope he does well if he starts for the Colts right out of the gate. This will be Richardson's show in my mind by week 6. I think they're going to take a chance on him, let him loose. They're a team that's in full rebuild too. They've got some pieces on offense that could help Richardson out early. Again, they're both going undrafted right now according to the ADP. I think you can definitely take Richardson a little later if you are high on the hype, like Jake said. But again, in a redraft league, this isn't going to be a great spot. No, Dynasty, definitely take Richardson as early as he's labeled. But again, 2 guys that you just don't know, right? I mean, Gardner Minshew, Richardson, you don't know for sure what's going to play out there.
I love Gardner Minshew. I really do. Last year, I started him in every week that he played. So when Hurts went down, I started him, and he is a capable fantasy quarterback because he pushes the ball downfield, and that's all you want, right? Do I recommend taking? Just listen.
Side eye he was looking at the stats. I'm sure just side eye in the stats, and then he just shakes his head. What Jake's saying.
Listen, do I recommend taking Gardner Minshew in your draft? No, I don't. Right? If you are taking Anthony Richardson as your quarterback 3, right? Would it be crazy to also have Minshew as well? It's like handcuffing your quarterback. Just because I think there are worse, if you have an injury, because there's always an injury, right? There are worse players to put in. Someone in the chat said, Gardner Minshew will be a better fantasy quarterback for Indy than Anthony Richardson will be in this this season. I don't think that's true because Richardson offers such upside when it comes to running the ball. But I'm just saying Gardner Minshew is no scrub, right? He is a whole tier ahead of Davis Mills, right? Jordan?
Okay, if that's the comparison,
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's first of all, it's a bad comparison because Davis Mills is you just would never have him on your team.
I think there's
Gardner Minshew.
there will be teams that have Gardner Minshew on their team.
Well, of course, and I think 2 quarterback leagues, and if you have Richardson, I think you named the only scenario I would recommend it. If you started him in all 5 games he played last year, Jake, I bet you didn't win a single one of those games.
Oh, I can tell you for a fact I did.
He had 600 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks over 5 games. So if you started him all of those, you're not getting a lot of production out of him.
Okay. I'm just sitting back watching this show, and I love it because last week I talked apparently too long about Russell Wilson, and now here we are talking about freaking Gardner Minshew and Anthony Richardson for like 4 or 5 minutes.
All right, one last thing. All right, hold up. Okay, fine. I just like Gardner Minshew. I'm just saying in a tight spot, he's not the worst.
Hey,
cool.
but
I will
Kurt
say
Warner's
this.
not a Hall of Famer, so let's move on.
I was wrong about that. I have to say this about Richardson. I really like Anthony Richardson. I know a lot. He's very kind of people either really like him or really don't. There's the only comparison I can think of when it comes to rookie quarterback, like his rookie year, because typically rookie quarterbacks don't perform all that well.
Right.
When Cam Newton was a rookie, he was a very fantasy relevant quarterback because of that rushing ability. I had him on a few teams, and he started every week after a while. I think Richardson could be that guy, right? Who could end up, because of that rushing ability, you could start him. If, who knows if he's going to be any good, but I just think it's worth a shot at the end of your draft.
Agreed.
Okay. Talk about Jonathan Taylor.
Moving right along, I think someone who is going to see a nice uptick back towards the top 10 is Jonathan Taylor. So last year, super disappointing campaign. He was kind of consensus number 1 overall pick in pretty much every league. Like if you didn't take him, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Some people took Christian McCaffrey, and that ended up paying off really well. But it was kind of like that was the only other guy that anyone could have reasonably taken at number 1 overall. He only ended up playing 11 games, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns after having almost 20 the season before. So really steep drop for Jonathan Taylor. I think a little uncertainty at quarterback helped Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. And it can't be worse than the offense with Matt Ryan. It just can't.
Very true.
So say what you want about Gardner Minshew. Can't be worse. Right now, he's being taken in the first round. So he's being taken in the first round. I think that's where he should be taken because of that upside. But it feels riskier than it once did to take him. So he's being taken as running back 4. I don't know if he'll finish running back 4. I think he's more likely to finish between 5 and 10, running back 5 and 10, than he is to be finished.
But again, that's good though.
Still good.
He's still good. I think, like you said, it can't be worse. I think he's going to have more than 4 touchdowns. He'll have more reception touchdowns this year. He's going to be fine. He's kind of boom or bust, right? Not bust in the sense that he'll fall out of the top 10, but he could be a top 3 running back easy.
Yeah, I guess when we're talking about bust, we're saying could he be between 5 and 10 is a bad season for him, right?
Right.
So, Jake, what do you think? You look like you have thoughts.
Well, I agree. I 100% agree with you guys. If you are online or you do any mocks or, I'm part of a bunch of different pages, the Jonathan Taylor hate is like the cool thing right now. And if you're getting a guy who legitly could who could finish as the number 1 overall player in the back half of the first round, that's fantastic. I'm getting as much Jonathan Taylor as I can. I think a huge rebound is coming, and I think once Anthony Richardson does get his stuff together, having a dual threat quarterback like that, I think it's just going to help him immensely. Like you said, because he did so well because he had had Carson Wentz at quarterback that year, right? And Carson Wentz isn't good. I think we've established that at this point. But he was able to push the ball down the field. He was not just stuck in the backfield all the time. He was able to roll out, right? He was able to open up the offense a little. And with Matt Ryan, there is not a more stationary person to ever have existed than Matt Ryan in the pocket. So Yeah, I just think it's.
Hey, I love Matty Ice, okay? I just got to defend him a little bit. But did you see what he did the other day? He joined CBS Sports. Did he even officially
No,
retire?
he had not. He also said he's leaving the door open for opportunities.
No one
Also,
wants it, Matt.
also Carson Wentz came out and said he is open to starter and backup roles. And everyone was like, "Where are you getting the starter roles?"
I did see a news article that said he should go to the Packers as backup.
I would love
Didn't
that.
love that.
I would love
They
that.
need a backup quarterback.
I need and you need a veteran backup quarterback. Anyways, a good question here is who's a better bounce back candidate, Russell Wilson or JT?
JT.
I think it's JT.
Russell
easy.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Adam. What do you got?
I got roasted last week, so I don't want to
All right.
give myself up to the opportunity again. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
All right. So then receivers, we got Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, who's taken in the second round, I think.
I believe he was undrafted rookie.
No. Okay, if that's the case, then I am thinking of the wrong person, and if that's the case, I apologize. But
Third round pick.
okay, third
we
round
were both
pick.
wrong.
All right. Here's the thing. We have talked about it a lot on this podcast that we really like Michael Pittman Jr. He had a down year because, again, that was not a good team. He played 16 games, but he's 16 games, 99 receptions, 725 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's being taken in the 8th round right now. I really like that. I think that
I love that.
You could get wide receiver 2 numbers out of him easily. I mean, he plays in one more game. He has over 100 receptions and right around 1,000 yards. Right. I think that Michael Pittman Jr. is really good value at round 8. I will book it that there's not a chance that he is there at round 8. That ADP will be higher. And as in last year, I said Rashad Bateman's ADP was in the 10th round. It should be higher. In this case, I think it should be higher for Michael Pittman. And I think people will recognize that.
Care to put some numbers on that, Jake? Where do you think?
Like, where's his ADP?
Yeah. You're just higher than 8?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Because I
that's
don't
pretty
know.
weak. Okay.
What? That's what I did for Bateman last year.
You did not. You gave me a specific round. You said,
okay,
he will not
7.
be in
Hey, don't be lame.
7. I'm not going to go all the way up to 6.
Come on.
All right. Anyways, Alex Pierce had a decent rookie season, clearly in a backup role. And then Josh Downs, I don't know who's the one to own there. I don't really think that either of them are going to return value quite yet. I think that Alec Pierce is probably the dart throw at the end of your draft, just because, again, wide receiver 2 on a team holds value, right? But again, it's a dart throw, and maybe it's just so like, what's Richardson going to do, right? Is he going to be able to support that many people? Who knows? But I'd rather have Alec Pierce just based off of what we saw from him last year. He finished as wide receiver 60, which is not exactly what you want, but he had a few really good weeks in the second half of the year. So why don't you talk about these quarterbacks here?
The tight ends,
Thank you.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wrote 3 of them because it's in.
I'll be really quick. Yeah, 3 tight ends in Indianapolis. All 3 of them had similar production. Kylan Granson, Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox. All 3 of them played somewhere between 13 and 17 games. They all had between 20 and 30 receptions. They all had about 300 yards, and some of them had some touchdowns. Don't take any of them.
Yeah, they're awful. This is pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is pretty bad.
That's amazing that they have that many guys right around each other.
I know.
The only thing I'll say about Mo Alley Cox is if you've seen him, he's a physical specimen.
It doesn't matter.
Like 6'8".
No.
Yeah, I don't want him anyway, but I'm just saying he looks impressive. But.
Yeah,
He's like-
he was like the worst one of all of them, so it's fine.
All right, let's keep it cooking here. We talked too long about Anthony Richardson. Let's talk about the best quarterback in this division. Easily, if you were drafting them all over again, easily he's the first one you're drafting. Trevor Lawrence. We've talked about Trevor Lawrence at the end of this past year. Adam, tell me about Trevor Lawrence. What are your thoughts on him for this upcoming season?
I love Trevor Lawrence. He is fantastic. I think, just the marriage between him and Doug Peterson last year showed what he can do with a competent head coach. We all know what happened with Urban Meyer when he was there. made me look like a great coach as a high school coach. It's unbelievable what he did last year, and especially that playoff run. The comeback against the Chargers, the play-in game the week before, how good he looked in tight spots. You can take him. His ADP is 6th round, 9th pick overall. QB8 is where they project him to finish. He was QB7 last year. I think he will have more rushing touchdowns this year. I really
More than
do.
5.
I think he'll have more than 5. I do.
That's a good. You should book that. That's a good one.
I'll book it. I think Trevor Lawrence will have more than 5 touchdowns. He's athletic.
Yeah.
He's smart when he runs the ball. That dual threat attractiveness should be great for people who want a dual threat guy, right? And I think he has the potential, and I think you guys probably agree with me. He could finish easily in the top 5, and we wouldn't bat an eye. We'd be like, yep. I mean, he is a stud. He has a good receiving room, which we'll get into. And again, he plays in a division. Just the division alone, right? He plays 6 games where he could go off because some of these teams are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, his value is so good. You can't go wrong with some Trevor Lawrence. And again, one of the guys with one of the cooler hairdos in the league. I mean, he should trademark his hair.
Get a haircut.
Okay. We know how Jake feels about long hair.
Yeah.
I think Jordan, agree with him quickly.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's actually a quarterback that I like where he is too. I know we preach not taking those, guys in the 2nd, 3rd round, but I kind of like a late 6th round.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where your brain's saying don't take him, don't do it, but then your heart,
my heart's telling
your
me
body
yes.
is telling you yes. I think that he'll finish in the top 5. I think that we'll really see a la Joe Burrow. I think that that's kind of what we're going to see here is him taking that next huge step.
Yep.
Yeah, because Jake totally believed in Joe Burrow.
Oh, I did not. I did not even slightly. But Jordan, this whole podcast is about us learning and adapting. All right.
No, it's about remembering your flaws and bringing them up.
We're going to be years down this road.
We've been told we're good content, and if we're not making fun of each other, what is this?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. We're moving right along.
Yes, you love yourself some Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. I was a year too early on Travis Etienne. I was so hyped for him, and then I was a year too early. But last year he did great. RB16. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, played every single game. So injury or health was not the concern that we thought it might be. Right now, everyone is hyping him up like I was, which is he is going right away in the 2nd round, 2-2, his ADP is, as running back 6. So that's pretty high, I think. But I like Travis Etienne. I think it's just excitement.
Jordan, that is updated since you must have wrote that. He is currently going as 2-1.
2-1, moving right up.
So he's moved up even today.
Yeah, so I think people are excited about him. I think people are excited about the Jags for a lot of reasons. I think we like Trevor Lawrence. I think we like what they got going on there. I think we liked what we saw at the end of the season. And I think we like what we're seeing in the entire division. I think that, the Jags will get out ahead, and they will get out ahead early against, the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans. That's 6 games during the year.
It won't be hard.
Yeah. I like him, though. I think that he is one of those, 2nd-round guys that if you're taking running back, you take him.
Yes. I like him too. I think I'd like to see more in that receiving category. Just because he's been known for that. So 35 receptions and 300 yards is decent, but you want to see more, right? 2-2 is a 2-1, a little steep for me. But I don't know. I'd rather have those receivers that are going around him right now. Like, I'd rather have a Tyreek Hill or a Cooper Kupp. But, it really depends on what you went with your first round, right?
Yeah, I mean, other guys that are being taken around him, Tony Pollard, Breece Hall, like Najee, are the other guys going in the 2nd round right now. Yeah. I like Travis Etienne kind of in that category.
Yeah. Someone pointed out, you missed the opportunity to plug the brand. Trevor Lawrence is going to take the next step in his fantasy journey this season.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Aha.
Very good.
Let's talk about those receivers. Let's talk about Christian Kirk, who we made fun of this past offseason. Because everyone was like, wow, we gave him too much money, and what did he do? Just had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 84 receptions. Like quarter or like receiver 1 numbers. Finishes receiver 11. going in the 7th round. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. I think it's because Calvin Ridley's there. I think people are thinking that he's going to take away.
And I think that he will take away a little. But 7th round? He finished in a 12-team league. He was a receiver 1. And going in the 7th round, if that stays, give me that all day. I would like to hear what you guys think. Let me talk about Zay Jones, another guy who played. I will see his numbers probably go down now with Calvin Ridley there. But one of those guys who's always around, and going in the 14th round, I think that's decent value. I would like to hear what your guys' thoughts are on Calvin Ridley. Adam.
I'll go. I really like Calvin Ridley. Jordan and I were talking prior to the podcast today a little bit about him. He is going to be better than Zay Jones. I kind of feel bad for Zay Jones because he had a decent season last year. But Calvin Ridley, a guy that in my mind should not have been suspended a whole year, and that's neither here nor there. But again, a guy that could be wide receiver 1, and I mean he's buried with Kirk a little bit, but he's a great complement to this offense, and he could easily have over 1,000 yards with Kirk this year, and maybe more touchdowns. I don't know. I just really like the kid. I think, he's young yet. He had a year off, but he can bounce back. He's 24, 25, not even?
Yeah, he's young.
And I think we're all in agreement. We like this kid. Deserves to have a good season. I think that he said all the right things with the suspension stuff. And I just think he's going to be fresh. He's going to be good with Trevor Lawrence there. And Doug Peterson is – I'm big on the coaching sometimes on the podcast. I think Doug Peterson's going to really let him flourish in this offense.
Yeah, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. Look bad.
They're going to have 2 of them?
Yep.
All right, that's a good bucket, Jordan. Put that down.
Yeah.
Good job, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, you're great. You're so good. My worry with him – see, I like the value in the 9th round for Ridley. That's great. I think we could really see that hype get pushed up past where Christian Kirk is right now. Because everyone's loving some Calvin Ridley. And while I do think he will succeed, I also think that there's a legit possibility that he won't. People talk about taking a year off and how hard it is to come back. That was the whole Deshaun Watson thing. And I understand they play different positions, right? But it's going to take some time for him to get it back into the swing of things. So,
what about Odell?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Odell can come back as a wide receiver too, no problem.
Literally, as I'm talking, I'm thinking, "Oh my God, here it comes!"
I started doing this thing. I was like, I know where he's going with this. Oh man!
All right, well. Okay.
All right, group, buddy.
Adam, get us to the tight end.
Jeez.
Okay, yeah. So we have Evan Ingram. I think he's, going to be right up there with Dalton Schultz for the best tight end in the division. I don't think it's close between the other guys we've been talking about. Again, he's a guy that provides value for this whole receiving core, right? I mean, they have 3 really good receivers. Evan Ingram's a good tight end. He can stretch the field because he's got that speed aspect to him. Finished tight end 6 last year, so he has that connection already with Trevor Lawrence. I think that will help Trevor Lawrence's value. This offense could be so good, guys. Like I don't think people realize how good they could be. And Evan Ingram is a guy too that could have better production than he did. I think he'll have more touchdowns. I don't know about yards, but I think finishing tight end 7, ADP 9.08. I think that's fine for him. Again, we have the Kelsey rule, but he's solid. He's a good tight end.
Agreed. Anything else on that, Jordan?
Nope. He's another one of those tight ends. Like, fine if he's late. Pick him up in double-digit rounds.
All right. Yep. Let's hit with the Titans quick, and then because there's not too many people, and then we have one little question at the end. Will Levis, Ryan Tannehill. What do you got, Adam?
I'm going to make a bold prediction, and you can book it.
Well, it's bold, so...
Ryan Tannehill will start every game this year for the Titans if he's healthy.
All right.
I truly think, he just signed that mini extension or whatever this offseason. I think the Titans didn't he sign an extension?
I don't think he's a cut candidate. People keep talking about him possibly being cut, which I don't think
I thought
will
they
happen.
I thought they did like a veteran-friendly deal. But anyway, he is a guy that he's fine. I mean, he's just a starting quarterback. If you need a bridge quarterback, that's what he's going to become here at this point in his career. Other teams will look at him. Yep, he's a bridge guy. he was hurt last year. He only played 12 games. His numbers obviously went down because of that. I think if he starts every game, he'll be fine. He's going undrafted. That's fine. If you're in a pinch, if you're in a 2 QB league, take him. I mean, if you need a second guy that's going to start and at least be out there with the guys, I think you can draft him late. Whatever, it's fine. He's an experienced guy. He's been there. Will Levis, he could start, but in a redraft league, I would honestly stay away from Levis this year. I just don't think he's a guy that's going to get a lot of playing time, and if he does, it's late in the year.
Yeah, he doesn't hold value.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't even put Malik Willis on this list, but he's also on the team.
Fade Malik Willis. And I feel like
hot take, fade Malik Willis.
I liked Willis coming out of college, but yeah, he looked so bad last year. Anyway.
I agree with you though. I think Levis starts by week like 14 or some stuff like that. Because I want to say earlier, right? But I don't think the Titans will be bad enough for them to because usually you wait for someone to be bad for you, but I don't think they're going to be bad enough. I think by week 14 they'll be out of playoff contention or something like that. Because I don't think the Jags run away with this division, so. At that point, we can see what Levis can do, and then I believe Levis starts next year, right? But I'm with you.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, wow, this is fun. Jordan, talk about the King, quick.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Love me some Derrick Henry. Played 16 games last year. I mistyped here. He finished as running back like 3. In leagues last year, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's going as running back 5 in drafts right now, going in the first round. Until he shows otherwise, that's the spot for him. Like, you think that age is catching up to him.
I don't want him.
You don't want him?
Not at pick 5. I mean, at pick 5. Here's the thing. I mean, as it currently sits, which, I mean, some of these ADPs that we're kind of staring at are not quite correct. But I'd rather have Chase. I'd rather be taking receivers at that point. I don't want
Derrick Henry?
I don't want
Is
Derrick
it the
Henry.
age thing
it's
for
the
you?
age thing. Okay. Father Time is undefeated, especially for running backs.
Running back, yes.
Yeah.
So
I guess you're saying you're weighing the risk of he could have another really good season.
I think it's more likely
but
he has a
don't
really
roll
bad
the dice.
season.
Don't roll the dice. I also think the team is bad, so if he gets banged up, like they won't keep running him. If the team is losing.
Exactly.
Right? If they're not in contention. So, you're kind of convincing me that way.
Yeah,
it's the spot he will be taken.
Yes. He will be a first round. He'll be a first round running back. I will, for the next 6 months, talk about fading King Henry. No, thank you.
Wow. The disrespect.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's 100% disrespect because he's such a beast. But I can't. For me, I'm not risking my first round pick.
Yeah. I think he has one more great year left in him. I really do. What is he, 29?
Something like that.
Yeah. Again, it's preference. I think he's got one more year.
Well, you can take him then. This receiving core is young and not very good. Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook, Akinye. Did I say that right? Something like that. And then Kyle Phillips. Burks ADP is in the 9th round. I guess, yeah. I'd rather have Calvin Ridley.
He's going as a wide receiver 3? Like, I don't know. That seems unlikely.
It just makes me nervous. That's one of those, 9th round, I'm not really wanting it. That 100% is how have you drafted so far. I don't want to push running backs and tight ends and you took a quarterback early and you took Hawkinson in the 5th and all of a sudden you're like, crap, Burks is my wide receiver 3. That's not what I want. Now, if you've went receiver early and then you took some running backs and you want to take him as your 4th or 5th receiver, okay, that's fine. But that's 100% on how you have drafted, right? So, and then the other 2, I don't think are fantasy relevant even slightly. I'd rather have Alec Pierce over either of those guys.
Totally.
Late round draft picks, if any. I think Westbrook is probably the guy to have if you're going to pick one, but just blech.
Now, one thing too, I mean, these guys could be surprise waiver wire guys. Those other two down the road, if they start having like a good season, obviously take them in the waiver. But as far as draft, right, I'd stay away from them too. So,
Okay. Adam, why don't you talk about their tight end?
I will, and I'm going to pronounce his name pretty well here because I've
Okay.
been practicing in my head for a little bit. Chikwozim Okonkwo.
Nice. That was good.
That is, yep. He's a guy that finished tight end 21, so he's respectable. I mean, he's he's not a guy that's going to wow you. His numbers indicate he's just a guy. His ADP is 12th round, 9th pick. Tight end 13 is the projected finish. So what they're saying is he's going to jump a little bit this year. But again, not a guy to reach for. If you need a tight end, a good backup, like he'd be a decent backup, and maybe he flourishes year two. I don't know. In a run heavy offense where they do a lot of play action, tight ends become a little more valuable in my mind. Because when you boot out the quarterback, tight ends become a little more open. But again, he's a guy. I don't think I got a lot more to say about him.
All right, let's quickly, we
Well,
got
at it. Oh, the only thing I was going to say is at a distance, if you squint right, the Texans and the Titans are the same team.
Yeah.
You got too many quarterbacks to know what's up. Your running back is the only thing. You got 3 receivers who all finished somewhere between 70 and 100 last year, and your tight end is the only thing that's worth taking a risk on.
One determining factor: the coach in Tennessee is a little better than DeMeco Ryans just because he's unproven. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly, to wrap this up, let's rank some things. We got Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram, the Tennessee tight end, who I won't attempt to say, rank them. Because they're all going within 2 rounds of each other.
Ingram, Schultz, Okonkwo.
Yes.
I think that is correct. And why? Because we talked about all these rookie quarterbacks, let's talk redraft. Add Bryce Young in there. Redraft, how would you draft them?
Stroud, Richardson, Young.
Levis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Levis is last for sure.
Yes.
I think I'd take Richardson first.
Richardson, Young, Stroud?
I would take Stroud until I hear that he's not starting. I know Young isn't starting. They've said he's not going to start week 1.
Yeah.
And then,
so that's why.
How does that change? Do your quarterbacks rankings change at all in Dynasty? There. Because
no.
For me, I think Richardson
Richardson's
is
Stroud.
still quarterback 1 because of the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I also do think for me the Bryce Young size thing I think is overblown, personally. Because everyone's always
We'll see.
Well, here's the thing. He played at Alabama. It's not like the rest of these people were little. Everyone's like, oh wow, are they gonna manage throwing over these tall linemen? What, you don't think they're tall in college?
No, I don't. My thing about his size and height has nothing to do with his ability to see over tall people. It has everything to do with his durability after getting just thumped by defensive linemen. He is on a bad team.
It would help if he was a little more built. He's a string bean, man.
Man, those pictures, have you guys seen those pictures of him at rookie mini camp, and he's calling in the play in the huddle, and all the linemen are up here, and it's just like a dip. There he is. He's just so tiny. He looks like a toddler playing.
All right. You don't need to be mean about it, Jake. Also, this is the guy that you said was the best thing ever.
You know what, guys? I don't know who I love more. You guys, but there you go. There's your AFC South. Next week we will finish up the AFC with the AFC East. That's right. You guys, thank you for hanging out. You can follow us on Facebook at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. You can continue listening to us wherever you're listening to us on the podcast websites. Sorry, that kind of stumbled through that. You guys have been really killing it from there. I just got back into our Twitter as well. I got locked out of it for months, but we're there. Next Step Fantasy Pod. We have a Patreon if you want to help us that way. And I think I covered them all, right, guys? All right, unless you guys have anything else you want to say?
No,
go Broncos,
for me.
Go Twins, go Irish, and go Tigers, baby. We're almost football season. 90 more days.
All right, you guys take care. Be good. Excellent. And then to our friends on YouTube, we appreciate you guys hanging around. John, Joey, looks like you guys were the main talkers in the chat today. Appreciate you guys being here every week. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
John says Dallas hockey is tomorrow. Jordan the Brewers put 18 on the crew. Yikes.
No, I think he means the Cardinals because they did.
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Everyone on YouTube, appreciate you guys hanging around. You guys are the bomb. And unless you guys want to say anything to these guys,
Joey loved the comment about the tight end or the Titans QB room. That made me laugh pretty good.
you guys are funny. We'll be back next week. Can't wait to talk to you guys then.